Good morning or good afternoon today. I'm so happy to have Web Connect here, and Andy Garrett is on the line with me. And Andy, if you can just confirm that you can see my screen, I would really appreciate that.
Yep.
Great, Andy, thank you. Now, Web Connect, we're so excited. They are coming to conference, which we're really excited about. Obviously, having Andy back with us and his colleague Doug, who's also on our call today. Really great. I mean, this is a preview of a product that, it's brand new to us. So we're excited to show it to you and certainly excited to do this today. I know Andy's got a few slides to show you, and then he's going to jump right in and is really hoping that you ask as many questions as you can, because this is your opportunity, unless you're coming to Connect, in which case you'll have to corner them and line up, because I have a feeling it's going to be a busy booth. So I want to do a quick few housekeeping items, as we always do. Big shout out to our board, Sam, Brian, Mike, Patty, Eric. Really so much work that we're doing every week now getting ready for Connect. I'm going to talk a little bit about Connect in the next couple of minutes, but a really big thank you to everyone on our board. As I mentioned, every single week, this is a volunteer position that our board members take on top of their duties with their regular jobs. So you know how difficult it is managing your job and your family, and now add some volunteer on top of it. It makes for a very busy day. So a big thank you to our board. Connect 2013, September 22nd to 24th. The response so far has been absolutely amazing. We have our early bird special, which expires tomorrow at the end of business day. So as of August 1st, the price does go up. So register now. Honestly, these numbers that we're having are incredible. Our hotel room block is good until about the third week in August. However, we are selling out rooms like crazy. So book your hotel room now. And that's a two-step process. So you're going to register for conference and also register your hotel room. So make sure you're doing both. If you have any questions, either the board or myself are always welcome to take your questions at any time. So we have tons of sessions. If you go to the user group forum in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the Connect logo. Click on that. That takes you to a new little microsite where you can take a look at our session grid. We have, it's full. It's full. We have every session full now. We still have a couple of spots. We're looking for moderators, and you'll see Sam posting about that a little bit later today. So keep an eye on the user group forum for that. There we go. Don't forget about your hotel reservations. So it's August 23rd, but definitely it's $107 a night for the hotel, which is really cost effective, so take advantage. Some of our great sponsors, we have absolute value, and right there in the center we have Web Connect, and which is why they're here today, to give everyone a preview, but definitely schedule some time to meet with them in September. Now I'm going to slowly just start changing the presenter rights over to Andy, and he's going to take control of the presentation. But just as a reminder, if you would like to ask questions during the session today, there's a couple good ways to do it. The first way is just to type it in, which is what most people do. If you're connected using your telephone, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you, and you can always ask your question live. Also, some of you do email your questions to me, and that's fantastic as well. So ask your questions. This is your chance, and I'm going to pass this over to Andy because there's nothing else I need to say here. So thank you, Andy.
Hey, thank you, Cheryl. And I'd first like to say good afternoon or good morning, depending upon your time zone out there. Really like to thank you for attending. I understand turnout has been great, and we really appreciate it. I'm assuming that a lot of you have a lot of questions. I'd like to really thank Cheryl. She's been great in helping us put this thing together. We're obviously webinar virgins. This is our first one through the users group, and really looking forward to it, and she's been very helpful to do that. I'd also like to thank Bryce from Standard Industrial. He's here with us as well. He is a Web Connect user and has been instrumental in helping me put the product together over time. Lots of feedback from him, and he's one of my clients that do lots of customization, so thank you very much, Bryce. Basically, my name is Andy Garrett, and I am the founder and lead developer of the Web Connect system. I've worked with P21 since 2005, and I've been a software developer since the Clinton administration. I'm joined here today with my good friend and business partner, Mr. Doug Bliss. Doug has 20-plus years in software development and business consulting, and has led technology companies focused on service and developer productivity. We are located in Kansas City, Missouri, and please feel free to contact us anytime you would like. Our philosophy, our goals, and this is our goals and philosophy, whether it's in conjunction with the Web Connect system or in any custom development task that we may undertake for you, which may involve, building some kind of third-party application that works for you, or doing a crystal report, whatever it may be. We want to improve your lives and the lives of your employees. We want to help you build stronger customer relationships, and we want to help you achieve or exceed your business goals. We believe that distributors that use P21 have some things in common. One, we think you guys all have a solid business plan. We think you all have talented employees. We think you have a driven sales staff. We think you offer great products and services. We believe this because otherwise you wouldn't be using the P21 software in the first place. And it's not just from a cost perspective of the P21 system. It's because it takes an organization that has resources and has some planning behind it and has been around the block a few times before you're really able to implement this type of software. It's very powerful, and it takes some thought to get it put together. We also believe there are some common challenges that can hold P21 distributors back. A brief history. Back in 2005, I got hired by a company that had recently implemented P21. Back then it was called Commerce Center. Because of my experience in sales and software development, I was placed in the accounting department, just a perfect fit for me, obviously. One of the first tasks that I had at that company was to check cost on orders, and we did this for a couple of reasons. One, we wanted to make sure, obviously, that we weren't selling things too inexpensively because profit was too low. And one, we were trying to kind of police commissions. If costs happened to be recorded wrong or whatever, we wanted to make sure commissions weren't being paid that were inflated. Basically, this took my whole day. I don't know if you guys remember the old version of Commerce Center. This was 10 dot something. For every order, if you wanted to look at cost, you had to click on a line item and then click on the cost tab. So as you can imagine, there's all these orders running through. I got to check costs on each one of these things, and I got to go select a line item, click the cost tab, scan it, write it down on my big chief notebook, go talk to an inside sales rep or maybe a sales rep to figure out what's going on, maybe purchasing to see what's happened with the purchase if the cost is out of whack, something along those lines. That wasn't going to work. I pretty much decided I needed to develop a custom report. And basically, I did it in Access. It was really easy to do, I thought. Slaps a few tables and views together, put all my costs on one report, be able to click, type in an order number, have everything on one screen. By the time I was done, it reduced the amount of time it took me to do that job from 6 to 8 hours a day down to about 2 hours a day. Well, I learned a lot of things when I was developing this report. The first thing is the Commerce Center / P21 database is huge. The second thing is that the data can be a little bit challenging to find sometimes. It's cleverly hidden in places that I really didn't expect. The third is that there's great room for efficiency gains by extending the P21 system, either by reporting or with a system like Web Connect that can put information and tools in a maybe a little bit more convenient place for people. And the third one is the lives of P21 users can be improved, greatly improved, without sacrificing productivity. Productivity and beyond. Things that can hold your business back. Employee resources that are stretched too thin. I mean, if you've got employees, or you may be an employee out there yourself, and you've got just way too much stuff to do, that basically eliminates your ability to tackle other challenges that may be coming up for you. And it also puts enough stress on you that you're not able to even do some of the things you're supposed to do extremely well. And the second one is the difficulty in building strong, productive customer relationships. These are partnering relationships, not the kind of relationships that are just you sell somebody something and they buy it from you and pay an invoice. Building a true relationship with your customers. Interestingly, we think that these things are related. The old 80-20 rule. It's often said that 20% of your customers produce 80% of your business. I don't know if that's right in your specific business or not. But is it also true that 20% of your customers take up 80% of your resources? That's probably not true. The truth is that all of your customers that call in and that work with your inside sales reps, accounting, customer service, what may be, still need quotes, still need to find out about order status, still calling about pricing and availability. They still have to go through the billing process, so that maybe they want to check on their credit status, maybe things along those lines. There's probably a lot more that goes on for each one of your customers that are out there. So what we need to do is realize that interaction with your customers is extremely valuable. So all of these calls that are coming in and all of this interaction is great. I mean, it's vital to building strong customer relationships. But the problem is a lot of these inbound calls are reactive. Basically, they all are. The customer is the one who initiates the conversation. It only takes place when the customer can make the call. And remember that your customer's time is probably just as scarce as yours is. They've got to make allowances for the day. They've got tasks that they've got to take care of in their business life just like you do. So they may not be picking up the phone to make the call just because they're extremely busy. This type of interaction with your customers is a bottleneck not just for you, but it's a bottleneck for your customer as well. So how can we improve the process? How do we reduce the bottleneck? One thing we can do, we've got to find a way to improve or increase customer service without increasing the demands on our employees. I mean, it's great to say, well, heck, we're really going to reach out and we're really going to start doing all these extra things for the customers. But we have to be able to allocate part of our employee staff to do that thing. Maybe it's our outside sales reps. Maybe it's our inside sales reps. Maybe we're going to do a new mailing, whatever it may be. We need to be able to figure out a way to do it without just swamping all of our employees. And we propose a two-part approach. One, give customers more control, more access to their account information, and tools to make them more productive. And I don't mean more productive necessarily just from buying things from you. I mean let them be more productive in their day-to-day jobs as well. Remember, they've got stuff they've got to get done. Two, give our outside sales reps and also other people within our organization more control, more information, and more tools to help them be more productive. So what would these tools for customers look like? One, they should be available at our customers' convenience. Two, they should provide mission-critical information that is truly valuable to the customer. And it can't just be some fluff stuff. Three, it needs to reduce the amount of time it takes a customer to complete their daily, weekly, monthly tasks, whatever they may be. And three, it should offer functionality that that's basically your competitors can't. It needs to give you a competitive advantage. It needs to be something that you can take out and say, hey, this is for you, my clients. I know that Joe down the street competes with me. He can't give you this. What about tools for sales reps? What should they be? Well, basically, they should be available at the sales rep's convenience. They should provide mission-critical information that is truly valuable to the sales rep. They should reduce the amount of time it takes a sales rep to complete their daily, weekly, monthly tasks. And it should offer functionality that your competitors can't. We need to be able to give your sales reps a true competitive advantage. Well, obviously, these are very common. These requirements are very similar. So the systems should be very consistent for all of our users. That means that the views and the way that users interact with the system should probably be the same. The system should absolutely be fully integrated with the P21 ERP system. You don't want to be showing things and data that's not relevant or maybe set up slightly different than you want them to be able to see. The system should be centrally administered for all users. That means that if you're going to go in and create a new customer account, it should be in the same place and use the same kind of process as you would create a new sales rep account. What are the advantages and benefits of having systems like this? One, we can reduce call traffic for inside sales, accounting, and customer service, which is going to free them up to be able to do maybe more productive things. And two, we can improve our overall customer experience. They're probably going to be happier doing business with you. Three, we can increase the efficiency and productivity of our outside sales staff. If they're more productive, remember that 80-20 thing we talked about before, maybe they can expand that 20%. Maybe there's some customers down there that are in the 80 that they just haven't had time to work with that can be brought up and be as productive as some of your top 20%. It's just about the efficiency and productivity of your outside sales staff. So with that being said, what is Web Connect? Because obviously that's what I'm talking about as being a solution for these things. Web Connect is a web-based, it's an ASP.NET system designed specifically for the P21 ERP system from the ground up. Every darn piece of it was built with a P21 database in the background. It provides unique integrated business tools for business owners, sales managers, outside sales professionals, inside sales and customer service, and your customers. And it's all very consistent the way that each one of the user roles interacts with the system. It's installed entirely within your company network, so it uses what you've already got, leverages your existing hardware and software. It means that if you need a more powerful server than someone else that runs Web Connect, great. We can definitely set that up. Conversely, if you don't need a monstrous server, you can use something much smaller. The system can be configured specifically to your company needs. I mean the Web Connect system can be. There are all kinds of configuration settings that can be made for the system. Things like the ability to show pricing to customers can be turned on or off globally, and this can be set specifically on your server. And maybe IIS can be configured slightly differently for your specific environment. You will have complete control of your user accounts, logins, and other permission settings. That's really important because you can go in basically and change specific permissions for each one of your customers or sales reps in regards to what they can do, what they can see, that kind of stuff. And your data definitely stays in your environment this way. Web Connect is designed with customization in mind. We spend a lot of time and do a lot of work with our clients to build specific views that are outside of the core of Web Connect. I've got customers out there that have had me build things where they can log direct ship items that are on orders for customers that have gone on credit hold. And they needed a system basically that they could go in through Web Connect, find one of these order items, click on something that says, hey, I want to hold this item, send that information on to purchasing that then calls the vendor to hold the item so that we don't ship it to a customer on hold. All that's tracked within Web Connect. It's not part of the core system, but it's definitely a part of their system. No one software perfectly fits each business out of the box, and Web Connect is absolutely included in that. So we recognize that you're probably going to need this to be modified in some way to fit you perfectly. We can leverage the built-in reusable features in Web Connect for your development needs, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. But there's a ton of features in Web Connect, like, for instance, a customer picker, where I can just go out and click a button, scan through all my customers, select one, and filter things by that. I don't have to rebuild that. So if you've got some kind of custom dev project that we need to filter by customers, or maybe it's supplier, or maybe it's by sales rep, I don't have to rebuild it, drag and drop it, ready to go. This can save you a lot of time and money. So what are some of the Web Connect features? Well, it allows users to create and edit P21 items such as prospects, opportunities, tasks, contacts, notes. It's got a unique remote ordering system that is available for all user roles. It can serve as a VMI solution. I'll get into that a little bit further down the road. It can serve as a customer business process solution. And I really am excited about that because basically you can turn the remote ordering system into something that acts like it's an application that's owned by your customer. You're basically able to say, hey, I can take off the branding, turn off the logos, hand this over to my customer and say, hey, use this as your internal requisition or ordering tool. And the employees of your customer don't even have to know that it's associated with your business. It offers unlimited user accounts and logins. Web Connect is not licensed or priced based on user count, and it's really huge because you might end up setting tons of admin account users up, tons of sales rep accounts, all of your inside sales rep, and more importantly, if you've got God knows how many customers out there you want to sign up on it, I don't care how many you put on there, and I don't really want to come check and then charge you more for it. So it's just one price fits all, and it's very competitive pricing. It's got intuitive summary and detailed P21 reporting, so there's lots of information and filters for orders, invoices, customers, opportunities, tasks, and much, much more. It also offers extended P21 capabilities, and what I mean by that is it offers things that P21 doesn't have built into the core, but that Web Connect ties to P21 items. A good example of that is our social media component. Basically, it's a comment system, kind of like what you'd see on Facebook or something along those lines, but you can put a comment on something like a task or an opportunity or a quote or an order or an invoice, and then those comments can be replied to by other users of the Web Connect system. It gives you kind of a conversation about these items. And those are all emailed out. I'll have to show you that. There's also a timeline, which is really cool. It gives you kind of an at-a-glance view of things that are going on, and those might be associated with a specific customer or it may be overall, or maybe by a sales rep, so you can kind of see what's happened over a period of time. There's also a new feature that I put together over about the last 2 or 3 months with the help of Bryce, actually. It's called Product Group Categories. And what it lets you do is group all of your individual product groups into categories that could then be displayed within Web Connect so that you can see trends over similar items. So let's say I've got one client out there that sells pipe in about 10 different flavors, and they've got different product groups for each one of these, this type of pipe. Well, we can categorize all those different product groups into one product group category called pipe, and then we can see what sales are over time by that, and we can filter that by customer. We can filter, it's just amazingly powerful. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open up the Web Connect system. This is the Web Connect system's main dashboard, and I'm showing you this right now as logged in as an administrator. And there's a reason for that. The administrator is kind of like a super user. It'd be a business owner account. All of the views that are seen here for an administrator are very consistent with what you're going to see as a sales rep or a customer or an inside sales rep, whatever the role may be. It's just that this guy just happens to be able to see everything going on within the organization. There's also just a ton of features within the Web Connect system. And all of these features, they can get really detailed. And so I'm trying not to go into a huge amount of detail on each one of these things, but still hopefully can show you the main portions of the system pretty effectively. As the main dashboard that's sitting here, you can see that there's a lot of information right on it. I've got this dashboard set up for this administrator to show a daily quote summary, a daily order summary, a daily invoice summary, and an opportunity summary. Hopefully everyone can see all of this portion of it. The dashboard also has comments. So these are all the comments that have come through fairly recently. If I click on one, I can open it up. If I want to, I can post a reply. This comment happens to be associated with a task. You can see that by the little icon right here. This comment is associated with an opportunity and was made by Jill. And this comment was associated with a quote. I tried to get kind of fancy on my icons to make it a little easier to see. On the right-hand side, I've set this one up to where I'm showing my last 10 orders. If I want to, I can change this to last 10 quotes or last 10 RMA, whatever I need to see here. Down below here is the bookmarks section. And bookmarks are an interesting portion of Web Connect. It's where you can basically go into an item like a task or an opportunity or a quote, and you can basically click on a bookmark and it'll show up on your desktop so you can easily get back to it anytime you want to see it. And down below here is a listing of tasks. So these are all of my currently for all activities inbound. That means these are the tasks only assigned to me. I can see a little bit more about it by hovering over it. This was assigned to admin by a user named Sam. And over on the right-hand side, I can see what the due date is. I can see the subject. I can see what it's linked to. In most cases, these are linked to customers. They don't have to be linked to anything. If I want to, I can complete a task just by clicking on the button right here. If I want to view a detail of it, I can click right here. If I want to click and create a new task, I can create right here. No problem at all. One of the interesting things about the system, if I can get to it, see if I can move this, is that you can add more items to this if you want to. And these items can also be moved around. It's all drag and drop. So if you want to reorganize your dashboard any way you want to, you can. But you've also got a catalog feature here. So like right here, I'm looking at my latest orders. But what if I don't want to have to click the button from orders and quotes? If I want to, I can come over here, darn it, come over here and look at orders, and I can select another latest orders tab. I can decide to add it to the second row, box 2, and click add. Now I've got a latest orders 2. And on this one, what I think I'd like to do is filter it by quotes. Great. So now on my screen, I've got latest orders, which I'm going to turn back into orders, and I'm showing the last 10 of those, and latest quotes. And I can configure this any way I want to. And there's all kinds of controls under here. There's charts for invoices. There's, various under things like instead of a daily order summary, there's a monthly order summary. So it gives you a lot of capabilities to basically set this up any way you want to. And obviously, it's not just the summary information on the dashboard we want to see. We want to be able to go ahead and look at the detail of things. So it's really easy to, from your dashboard, as things pop up, click on a little button here, and come over and see the detailed information. This is an order detail screen. It's very consistent within all users of the system. If you log in as a sales rep, you're going to see almost exactly the same thing as you log in as an admin. The only difference is you're not going to get the sales reps tab. If you log in as a customer, you see almost exactly the same screen, but you don't get the sales reps, opportunities, notes, or customer tabs. You also don't get the ability to go look up orders. I removed that for customers as well. They can basically get to it at drill down. You get to see a lot of the information you'd expect, like who's the order taker, who it was last maintained by, date last modified. You get to see the ship to over here. You can see some of the item information as well. So, you know, if I can see that here's an item down here. They ordered 5 of them. It's back ordered. And I don't know if you can see from your screen on the screen share, but it's highlighted a slightly different color. See the total amount, and then you can also see the open amount of the order line item right here. So this would be the total extended price of the order and the open amount of the order. If I want to find more information out about the specific line item, I have the ability to click on things like the item information. This shows me what I've got available at my locations and what the costing is. By the way, you can turn off the ability to view costing on these pop-ups. I can see the customer order history for this specific item. So here's every time they've ordered it and the ship tos that it went to, the order number, the order date, all that kind of stuff, and the price and the cost, that kind of fun stuff. If it happens to have a PO, we can check and see if it's got a PO. This one does. We can see what the PO number is, the date the PO was created, and the due date for the PO, and the quantity ordered. We can see if that matches up. Yeah, it looks like we probably have 1 on hand and we ordered 4 more. If it happens to be an assembly item, we can see the components. This is not an assembly item. If it happens to be on a release schedule, we can see the release schedule for this item right here. Moving on from the main customer screen, we've got various tabs up here. We can see the pick tickets, basically the shipments. If I want to, I can click on that. If it happens to have been invoiced, I can click on the invoice and go view a very similar screen for the invoice detail. I can see who the primary sales rep is. I can see any opportunities that are associated with this order. And if I want to, I can create a new opportunity for this order right here. I can view any notes that are associated with this order. If I want to, I can add a new note for this specific order, and it'll be in P21 as soon as I've completed clicking the old Save button right here. I can also view the customer detail information. Not a lot of information here, but I get to see the customer ID, the name, address, city, state, zip, central phone, which surprisingly is not here, central fax. But if I want more detailed information, all I have to do is click the old View Customer button right here. And this takes me into a really nice customer detail screen. So I can see from this specific customer a lot of great information. I can see, of course, their address information. If I want to view a Google map, just click right here and it'll pop the thing up. If I want to see the 24-month order history charted out, it's right here, and I can hover over things and see what those numbers actually are. Looks like this customer actually started producing orders in April of the prior year, and then they've been pretty consistent all along. Over to the left, you can see what's a pretty interesting little summary right here. It's going to show you the prior year orders and the current year orders to date. And then what we do is we go ahead and project those orders out and show you the difference. So in this case, it looks to me like this customer is doing better, projectedly doing better than they were in the prior year. And I like that very much. If they were doing worse, this number would turn red, and that'd be kind of a red flag for me that maybe something's going on here. I can see the customer timeline. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but these are all the things that have happened for the customer, and I'm showing the last 10 right here. You can definitely view more and go to a detail if you want to. But you can see I've been playing, so there's quick order, quick order, quick order, lots of quick orders from the system, a new opportunity, yeah, I created an opportunity, and then another quick order. Great, those are the things that I see. Other things that I can see are any comments related to this customer. And that's not just the main customer account. These are comments that could be related to a quote or an opportunity or anything. So it's basically an entire conversation sitting right here on the screen, anything about this customer. And these are divided into threads, and you can drill down on those. Obviously, you can see all of the opportunities associated with the customer. If I want to, I can drill down, or if I want to, I can click New, and this will start a brand new opportunity for this specific customer. One of the cool new views is this order history screen. The order history screen gives you a couple more charts. It's based on this 24-month rolling order thing, but this is 24-month order rolling order profit. So these are the actual profit dollars for this customer. And over here is the profit percent. And down below is a really cool grid that shows you the prior year or the current year orders broken down by month, and this is the current month in my demo system, versus the prior year sales for that same month. And it's going to show you the orders, the profit dollars, the profit percent, and then it shows you the difference over here. So just scanning up and down, you can quickly see what the changes have been, not only in the order differences, this one's gone negative, but also in the profit dollar difference, and obviously this one's gone negative a little bit as well. Over here is, a quick credit tab, so I can see a little bit about their credit history. I can see the address, phone information. Now, if you grant your users rights, and only if you grant your users the right to do this, they can come over here and change the address of your customer. You don't have to turn that on for everybody. You may only want to turn it on for a few people. That's great. You can view the ship tos, a bunch of them sitting here. You can view any notes that are sitting out here, and there's actually, you'll have ability to enter notes in the next release. And over here are contacts. So if you want to, you can view and edit a contact here, or you can create a brand new contact for the customer right here. So a lot of information available for each one of the customers. Another cool thing under the Customers tab is based on this information right here, the 2010 versus 2011 order stuff. We call it the Customer Order Projection. So if you go look at the Customer Order Projection, it gives you that same kind of information that's on that screen for all of your customers that have had production in the prior year or the current year. So you can see, okay, here's all my customers. Here's what their current year orders are, their prior year orders, the projected order differences, projected profit differences, and any open opportunities. So I can see, like, this guy might be going down a little bit, but I also have $50,000 worth of opportunities for him. I can get right back to the customer detail screen for one of these guys just by clicking on the magnifying glass and viewing the detail. I can also just find a customer by going to the customer listing if I want to. And it gives you a lot of the same information, but man, can you filter it. You can filter things by, if it's a customer, is it a prospect, or you want to look at all of them. You can try to search by name. You can type in the customer ID if you want to. I even let you filter by customer classes. So I don't know if a lot of you have customer classes set up or not, but if you do, the system can automatically detect if they're there and will display them. It can also be configured not to let you filter by the customer classes. But in this case, the subtype, I've got it set up so we can filter by key accounts. I can find all these customers and then drill it down on them. Also important to understand and realize is that if I'm logged in as a sales rep, these are just going to be my customers. And I still have all these filtering options. I can filter by city, state, county, and also our country, and credit status if I want to. And if I've been granted permissions in the configuration settings for each user, I can create a new prospect, but only if I've been given that option. One of the other cool things that's built into the system is the opportunities management. Hopefully a lot of you guys are using opportunities in the P21 system. It's a very powerful system, and a lot of people are starting to take advantage of it, some very heavily, some sparsely. WebConnect extends the opportunity system quite a bit and gives you some new views of things. For one, I can look at an overview of my opportunities. Of course, it gives me the opportunity view right here that tells me my total amount. Get a nice little chart here that I can change what I want to view the opportunities by. Maybe I want to view them by sales rep, so here's all my opportunities by rep. If I want to look at them by type, I can do that. If I want to look at them by status, I can do that. Of course, I can drill down. This is an opportunity listing, and there's a lot of filters that we can look at here as well. I can filter opportunities by assigned to, whether they're complete or not, who the customer is associated with the opportunity, the source of the opportunity, the type, the sales rep, the status, stage, steps. And what's really cool is I get to group this. So let's say I want to group all of my opportunities today and just take a look at them, and I want to group them by sales rep. Okay. So I do that. I can now see all my opportunities by sales rep. It looks like Clint Eastwood only has one, but it's for $200,000. David Lee Roth has $490,000. Dustin Hoffman has about $60,000. The house account has $20,000. And I can just kind of scan down here and look at this stuff. If I want to, I could also apply some filters on this stuff and really narrow it down a little bit further. From here, I can easily take and look at an opportunity detail if I want to. So maybe I don't know, just kind of pick one here at random. and I can edit or do anything I want to with this opportunity at this particular juncture. Another thing I can do since I'm logged in as an administrator, I can come take a look at my sales reps tab. This basically just gives me a listing of all the sales reps that I might have in the system by name. I've got an email address, a phone number if I want to do that. I can view sales for each one of these sales reps real quickly, 30, 60, 90, 100 days, maybe even a whole year. And then I can drill down on each one of these sales reps individual. So let's say I want to just take a peek at house account real quick because it's easy enough to do. I get a nice little dashboard that I can take a look at that shows me, what their opportunity summary is, their order summary, invoice summary, a little bit about the aged receivables for the house account. You see their monthly invoices. I've got it filtered up to 24 months right now, and I can see any opportunities in a chart they have as well. So it makes it really easy to be able to kind of get a high-level view of each one of your sales reps as you're looking at the system. One of the other really cool features in the system, and something that a lot of people take a lot of use out of, and I'm sure a lot of you are interested in, is the remote ordering system. I probably need to explain the remote ordering system a little bit for you. We can get to the remote order management by clicking this screen. The way Web Connect treats remote orders is quite a bit different than you will find if you're looking at like a B2B website or something along those lines. It doesn't have something like a shopping cart mentality to it. You don't click from page to page, read items, add them to a shopping cart, go through a checkout process or anything like that. It's not designed necessarily to provide a lot of marketing information. It's more of a business tool. It's a business tool that's consistent among your sales reps, your administrative users, and your customers. Everyone gets to see pretty much the same kind of stuff. A little bit of different capabilities, and obviously customers only see their pertinent customer information. Sales reps see quick orders that are based on their customer listing as well. But basically what I'm talking about is a quick order is a reusable form. You can create as many of these as you want for each one of your ship-tos, for each one of your customers. You can add a title to them, and you can add as many items as you want to. So each form can serve as a specific holding place for things that your customers order on a consistent basis. So let me show you one of those real quick. I'm going to first go to Manage Quick Order Forms. This, because I'm logged in as an administrator, lets me see all the quick order forms that are created within the Web Connect system. And you can see that up here I've got the ship to, the title of the quick order form, the form type, which I'll get into later. That can be either an order form or a requisition-only form. I can see a stored PO number that I have associated with this quick order number or a quick order form. And if I happen to want to use the P21 contract number, I can associate that with the quick order form as well. So let me go down here. I've got one. This Three Waters Building 2. Let's take a look at that. It's an order form. It's the last one, so let's see what happens to be on it. So these are the basic settings that can be made for the quick order form. I can see that this is for this customer, and it's for this specific ship-to. If I want to delete it, I can right here. If I want to change the form name, I can, and I think I will. I'm going to call this one Three Waters Supplies. This makes it really easy to identify what this form is associated with. So I'm going to save those settings, and it'll tell me that it's saved. And here are the two items that right now I have associated with this quick order form. And you can see that they're broken down by shelf. So like this is shelf 1. This is the item ID. If the customer happens to have a customer item ID, it'll show up here too. Here's the item description. I get to select what unit of measure I'm dealing with. And it displays the unit size. It shows me the unit price, and the unit price is recalculated every time we run this quick order form, and it's pulled up to date out of the P21 system. These things, the unit price and quantity available, can be turned on or off as visible for each one of the users in the system as well. I can also set a min and max for these items. So let's say that I'm going to go out and I'm going to build a quick order form, and I'm going to use it, or my sales rep's going to use it, and we're going to go out and fill items out of a warehouse somewhere, and we're going to go look at the shelves in a cabinet somewhere for a ship-to, and we've associated that with this supplies form. I can look at the shelf. I can look at the number of items that are on the shelf, and they've got 3. And this guy says the min I want is 0, and the max I have is 1. Okay, great. They're right within where they need to be. I don't need to order this item. To add a new item, all I do is come over here, search for the item real quick. So I'm just going to kind of type in something real quick and see what comes up. And here's an item. I'm going to select it. I'm going to select what the unit of measure, well, this one only has eaches. I'm going to go ahead and put this on shelf 2. I'm going to leave the min and max alone at 1 and 10 and just save it. Now it shows up as shelf 2. So oh, one more thing up here. For each one of these quick order forms and requisition forms, you have something called email settings. We can choose to email when one of these forms is used, the ship to sales rep, and we can choose whether or not to include pricing. We can email back office, and back office is something that we centrally configure for the system, so we define what the back office email address is. And we can choose whether or not to email the ship to contact, whoever the ship to is. But if none of those meet our demands, we can also add as many other email subscribers to this quick order as we want to. So we can maybe add a central purchasing person at our customer to the subscribers, the people that will receive emails when this quick order form is used. So that being said, we can go back to remote orders and we can enter a new quick order. So I can filter this by customer and ship to if I want to, or I can just come straight over here, find the darn thing, 3 water supplies, and here's my form. It's super easy to use. You can use this on a tablet. It even has the ability to view this on a smartphone, and I'll show you that in a minute. I can come over here. I'll have to log back in to show you. But all you really do is you enter in a quantity. So I want to order 2 of these, and I want to order 3 of these, and then I want to send the order. So here is a confirmation screen. At the confirmation screen, I can see what I've ordered. It comes up with the extended price, and again, this can be turned on or off depending upon who the user is, whether you want them to see the extended price or not. I can see any PO. If I've given the permission, I can change the PO number, or I can lock that PO number in place so people can't edit it. If I want to add a document link, and I do have a client out there that makes each one of their customers upload a PO file to associate with the quick order, I can do that and attach it here. If I want to add a note, I can just add a topic, type in a note, and go. And all I have to do then is confirm the order. But let's not confirm it just yet. I want to go show you what it looks like if I go back to Manage Remote Orders. If I go to Manage Remote Orders, I see that I have, I played earlier today, I have one quick order that's been exported. It's ready to go. And then I have this one I'm working on right now that's pending. What's really interesting here is that if I'm logged in as 3 Waters, as a customer of 3 Waters with one of my account logins, I'll see this quick order exactly in this same status. Whether or not I entered it or the sales rep entered it, it's still going to show up for me. The same goes for if I'm my sales rep. So if I'm a sales rep and I'm going and I've turned the system over to my customers and my customers are placing this orders, I can log into the exact same interface and see the exact same orders for them. Customer calls up and says, hey, placed a quick order, I'm on the road, or I don't have time, can you go double check something for me, and then if it's right, go ahead and confirm it. The sales rep can easily log in, go view the quick order, confirm the order, and it's ready to go. Now we can see that it's exported. And these quick orders, by the way, they're imported the same way that a B2B order would through the Scheduled Import Service Manager. So that just a little background information there. One of the coolest features within the Web Connect system, and we can go through invoices and drill downs and stuff like that if you want to, but a lot of the power and where we can go from here is from user management. The system's absolutely useless unless you can manage the users that are set up within the system and create new accounts really easily. From this main tab, I see that I can manage users. I can create a new admin account, and that's nice. You can create as many admin accounts as you want. There's even a setting where you can create an admin account and turn off the ability for this admin to do user management. So what that means is, in effect, you can create a brand new super user that can't go out and either edit his own permissions or create other users as well. So it's basically just a power user role that you can create. We can create a new sales rep account, a new inside sales rep account. We can even manage the sales rep's dashboards if we want to go out and make some global changes. Say, I want to go ahead and add this chart to all of my sales rep screen. I can do that from here. I can also create a new customer account, and I can view global usage logs. Usage logs are great because they give you a little bit of an idea of your return on investment. You can also see a lot of the usage habits. This is really powerful when you turn the system over to your customers. You can basically jump in and peek at them and say, okay, what's this user account doing? What are they seeing in the system? What are they paying attention to? Are they going to their invoice history? Are they looking at their orders? Are they using the quick order system? We can find all that out from the usage logs. So let's go to Manage Users real quick. Under Manage Users, I get a listing of all the users that are set up in the system. They have this cool little a triangle thing right here if they happen to be admin accounts. That's mainly there so you don't happen to delete all the admin accounts. If you do, I can fix it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, just so you'll know. You have a neat little icon here. These are basically your avatars, and each user has the ability to go set up whatever avatar they want to. We can see the username. If they happen to be associated with a customer, we get to see the customer name. If they're a sales rep, we get to see their sales rep name from P21. We can see what user role they're in. We have emails, so if I want to send somebody a quick email, I can. I can see their last activity date, and I can see if they're approved. It looks to me I've unapproved this demo admin account down here. Maybe I just wanted to stop him from using this system for a while. Want to let him back in? Fine. Just click the button. They're reapproved. Also, if I happen to have a user that's locked out, it'll show right here with the checkbox. All you have to do is click the checkbox, and now they're unlocked out. They can get locked out if they try to enter an incorrect password more than 5 or 10 times, something along those lines. And that can be configured the total number of times as well. There's some neat buttons over here. There's a delete in case we want to just delete a user entirely. There's a button over here, a little light bulb that tells me whether or not the user is currently online. This button right here basically takes you to the usage log for each specific user, makes it real fast and easy to view that. And then there's the edit user button. So let's say I want to edit, let's edit old Clint Eastwood real quick. Now Clint Eastwood, if we want to, we can reset his password right here. We can assign a P21 username to him. That's really important because you can't create tasks unless you have a P21 username associated to you. We can set his permissions, allow contact edit, allow address edit, allow prospect creation, all that kind of stuff. We can turn on and off the ability to show the site logo. That's mostly valuable when you're dealing with your customers and they're using Web Connect as part of their business process, and they want to basically take ownership of this as something that they call part of their business tools. You can turn off your logo and they'll basically show their customer name up big and bold in the left-hand corner. We have some other settings we can make for the sales reps, and these are all different based on whether or not this is a sales rep or a customer or an admin. But I can say if I want to show pricing on the quick orders or quantity available. I can turn on and off the ability to let this user edit a quick order form or templates. And templates are really cool things that allow you to rapidly create quick order forms based on a pre-designed set of items that you already have set up. I can allow PO edits or require a PO document. So for each user that's using the system, if you want to make them upload a document with the quick order, you can. And if this is a sales rep, so we can allow remote order pricing changes. There's a whole nother remote order form that's more like a traditional order form, and we can either turn on or off the sales rep's ability to change prices there. As I mentioned before, there's a couple of different form types for quick orders. There's quick order forms and requisition forms. For some of our users, all we want them to be able to use is a requisition form. That means that no live order is placed. It's just going to ask somebody else to place an order for these items. We can limit our users down to just that type of form. We can also do some other kind of cool stuff like showing order profit. Most people want their sales reps to see profit. And then I had a client that asked me to allow one of their sales reps to be able to assign an opportunity to another sales rep. By default, the system doesn't allow you to do that, but you can definitely click this button and allow that to happen. Here's the usage log for this specific customer as well, but you can see a little bit about what's going on. But let's go back to the main user listing thing here. One of the neatest buttons, my favorite button probably, one of my favorite buttons in the entire system, and something that admins just absolutely will find extremely useful, is the ability to impersonate or log in as one of their users. So imagine that you've got a sales rep or a customer, and they're using the Web Connect system. And they call you up and they say, I'm trying to figure out how to insert statement here. Maybe it's use a quick order form. Maybe it's find an order or something like that. You don't necessarily know their password. You probably know their username because it's sitting right here, and you can figure out who they are. But you need to be able to log into them real quickly without hopefully changing their password and then making them figure out a new password. What we can do is come right over here and click this little button that says log in as this customer. Log in, impersonate. So I can click that button, let the system think for a few minutes, and now I am seeing exactly what the customer is seeing. This is their dashboard. This is the user account named customer for 123 Warehousing. I just logged in as them. I can see up here that they've got a bookmark display. They haven't added any bookmarks. We might do that in just a second so I can show you how that works. I can see their latest orders or quotes or RMA. And remember, this is essentially the same control that we saw on the administrator's dashboard, only this information is filtered only for this customer, and it doesn't show things like profit. I can see the latest invoices, and I can do all that kind of stuff. I can see a monthly invoice chart, monthly invoice payments, all that kind of fun stuff. I've got drill downs for orders, open shipments, and even this cool thing called product group drill down, which I'll show you in just a minute. Same thing with invoice drill downs, and I've got my remote ordering screen where I can enter a new quick order. I can manage any of the quick orders that are sitting out there in pending status or whatever they may be. So let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, here's that quick order we entered earlier, and so we can see that it's sitting right here. I can manage the quick order forms if I've been given that permission. It's possible you may not want your customers to actually have the ability to modify the quick order forms that are out here. Now, the really interesting thing here, because this is a customer admin account, they actually have the ability, and you don't have to create any customer admins if you don't want to create more users. They can create more customer logins under their account if you let them do this. So they can now manage the accounts that are logged into their customer. Well, there's only one at this point, it's customer, but if they wanted to, they could create a brand new account user that's going to be able to log in and see their information. That can save you a lot of time as an administrator of the system, because instead of your customer having to call you up and say, hey, I need to create a new login for this guy and I want him to be a material handler only. Well, the customer can just go do that if they want to. So very, very interesting information. Oh, I wanted to show you one of the neat extensions. Remember how we talked earlier about we use Web Connect to extend the P21 system and do things that P21 doesn't do out of the box. Those are things like your comment system for the social media, the timeline, things like that. One of the new features is this new product group drill down. The product group drill down, what it basically allows you to do is take all of the product groups that are in the system and put them into categories. So like I said before, you might have 10 different types of pipe. You want to put them all under one product group category called pipe. Then if I want to, and I'm logged in as a customer, so I have less filtering options that you normally would have, I can come over here and look at my purchase history by these product group categories. So I can see I'm logged in as the master customer. For all of my ship-tos, these are what I buy over time. And I can see that this guy's going down. I can see for the most part I buy a lot of paint. I do a little bit of others. Some abrasives are out here. If I want to see the detail of it, I can see it by month right over here. This is great information for your customer to have. And they're not necessarily looking to figure out how to cut costs. What they're trying to figure out is how I can optimize my business. What am I spending money on? Am I getting return on investment inside my organization? Now let's say that I'm my customer and I want to filter this by a specific ship-to. Well, I can just select a ship-to and relook at this information again. So I know for this specific ship-to that I'm buying all paint and that it has so far gone down quite a bit in August.
Hey, Andy, this is Bryce as well.
Hey, Bryce.
Hi, I just want to comment on this part. All of this starts with the quick order forms where you make it so easy for them to order from you that the information is gathered inside of Web Connect and P21, and then once you have that information, you're able to do this. The one question that you might be answering is, how is this going to make me money? How is Web Connect going to make me more profitable as a business owner? And this is where it is, because this is the same information that if you're doing vending right now, or if you're thinking about vending, that your customers can get. The only difference is, well, a big difference is about $15,000 to $20,000 per machine. Okay, so if you put vending machines out there, you know the expense of it, and then you know the restrictions of vending. You can't put stuff in. If they use the quick order system that you set up, all this information is gathered, and then this information that we're presenting to your customers is information that I have found that large customers don't even have. And then what happens is you are their monthly reporting. And I'm doing this for some customers, some very, very large Tier 1 automotive customers that don't have this information. They wait on me for their monthly reports. And what happens then is if I'm very close, let's say our price is right there, our quality's there, the business falls my way because they want to have as detailed information as possible. This is one of the key components in making you more money. I don't work for Andy. I'm a customer of his, but I will tell you this has been very, very, very beneficial to my business to become a single source to these customers. So just a side note there.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Bryce. Yeah, Bryce is he uses the heck out of the quick order system. He was instrumental and came up with the idea actually behind the requisition-only forms, which allows basically what the requisition-only forms do is it allows his customer to open up this quick order system as an internal business system for them. So on some of these large customers that he's got, he'll basically go out and present this information to the main powers that be at the customer. They then open up these requisition forms to their internal employees, who then requisition from a central purchasing guy, who then places an order either through a quick order form, or maybe they end up just picking up the form. Usually it's through a phone. Usually they just run it through a quick order form. But it's been a great sales tool for him, I definitely believe. And, you know, that's also interesting. Yes, sir?
Yeah, one other thing. Are you going to be able to show the CSA before this is over? Or can we talk
Oh, Bryce
about
loves the CSA. What time is it? I just talked. My gosh, it's 2 o'clock, and I haven't taken any questions from anybody. Cheryl, does my mouth runneth over?
You know what? We have one question, but why don't you
Cheryl?
show... Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. We have one question. If you want to show the CSA, and then we'll take the question. Does that work?
I think that's fine. I actually, Bryce, I have, this is another Bryce brainchild, and I have one of them brought up right here within the system so we could get to it because I figured Bryce
Let me give them an idea what it is. As a salesman, I go in and I present a product, or I present a quote to a customer. And a lot of times it's to a purchasing agent, and you guys know that sometimes saying purchasing agent is pretty loose anymore. It could be somebody who's been thrown in that position who doesn't really have the ability to do any analysis on it, and you hand them a standard P21 quote on a piece of paper, and two things happen. They look at it, and they don't understand that you're maybe bringing in a product that's maybe a little better. Maybe the unit of measure is longer. Maybe you're doing it in a roll where they're getting it by, you know, a certain length. Or the other thing is they don't care. And so that's what I was running into. Is I don't want them to have to take my piece of paper and do some math on it, or I want to make sure it doesn't go on their desk. So what I had Andy do was do basically a quote on here, and Andy can, you know, click on one of these. And what a CSA is, a cost savings analysis form, and it takes the place of P21 quote. It still pulls the information out of P21. The items in blue you see here are directly out of P21. The items are in red is their customer information. I write down as much information as I possibly can. My salesman does when he goes out there, the manufacturer, customer part number, description. Then what I do is anything in yellow is information that we don't have yet, and most of the time that's their cost and their estimated annual usage. And so what they can do is they log in, and they can edit this. If they were to edit, you know, this second item here, and they can actually put in a cost. Let's maybe do, Andy, the fourth item actually had our information, and this doesn't have any costing for us, or it does. In a nutshell, what this is this makes them look at your quote. It gives you the ability to say, my product is going to last 2 times as long. You see in that blue column going up and down, it says a factor. That is a factor after you do the demo. A lot of times you'll bring in a better product, and you say, hey, mine may be 20% more, but it lasts twice as long. Simple math for some people, for others not so much. So you have the ability to put this in, and then instantly when they put in their cost and their estimated usage, it factors in their savings. In this case, it's $208 on savings. It then totals at the bottom what the potential savings are. If they are starting to use this, meaning we approved it and they're starting to buy it from it, you go to the approved, and they can even click that and it says approved. But the big one is if it's unapproved. I've sat down with the owner of a company after I had beaten my head against the wall trying to show a customer $100,000 savings. And you have a $40,000 employee holding up $100,000 savings and making a $100,000 decision. The owner of this company has his own login, just like Andy is showing you, and I show him potential savings. And in this case, I was showing them multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars of potential savings that had been unapproved. And he was like, why in the world are we not doing this? And so this is a way to hold these purchasing agents accountable, because one of the first questions they have is, who all can see this? We're like, oh, everybody, as far as about, the manager, the owner, the accounting department can see it. This has been an unbelievable resource for me, as opposed to just handing them a piece of paper and hopefully they look at it. So if there's questions, I know Andy can go in more detail. If you're going to the conference, you can see this. But this is how this makes you money. Everything else Andy is showing you is very important. It's helpful. It makes you more productive. But if you're looking at how can this make me more profitable, this and that ordering system makes your customers so dependent on you that you become a partner, not a supplier. All right. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Bryce. That was great. All right, Cheryl, what's my one question?
Okay, you ready for your one question, Andy?
I'm ready for my one question.
The question is, are the features all baseline, or can you pick and choose? For example, if I already have B2B seller, I may not want to duplicate some of the functionality, but I may still want the sales management capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And also keep in mind that the system can be customized for whatever you need it to do. So yeah, we'll definitely work with you on anything you want to do there. We're very flexible. We're trying to be partners with all of our clients and help them in any way it makes sense and make Web Connect fit their organization the best way possible.
Well, we don't have any other questions, and we're kind of hitting that hour mark now, so we should probably wrap up. I know poor Andy, I said you've got an hour to do a session today, and he didn't know if he could cover it all, and I think there's still so much that he could go into, so definitely give them a call. I don't know, Andy, if you can pop your contact information up on the screen. If not, you're more than welcome to contact me at any time, and I'll get you in touch with Andy or Doug, and they can set up a private consultation with you as well. Wow, I see what you're doing, Andy. That's awesome.
Yeah, basically, I just want to point out real quick that these views will basically reconfigure themselves for whatever device you're on. Or if you want to click the mobile tab, you can do that. Go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just watching what you're doing, and I'm thinking, wow, I can't keep up. But if you're coming to Connect, which I'm sure you all are, set some time aside to go talk to one of these guys, because there's a lot they can still cover and talk to you about. And you know what? They're flexible, and they know P21. So. But thank you, Andy. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Bryce. I'm glad you could all come today. We have recorded the session. It takes about 24 hours for me to get that session recording available, so keep an eye on the user group forum. Reminder, register for Connect. Register before the end of the day tomorrow to get the discount, and register for your room. So thank you, Andy. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I just wanted to thank all of you again for showing up and listening to me ramble for a good full hour. And thank you again very much, Cheryl. And thank you very much, Bryce. And I hope to talk to you all at Connect. Look forward to seeing you out there. Bye-bye.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
You too. Bye.